One minute, I was shopping for a designer bag in Paris. Next, I was scrubbing toilets in a castle for a guy who raised pigs. Talk about a crazy plot twist. Hi, I'm Ivy. Please like and subscribe because this story will blow your mind. From birth, I had it all. Dad gave me a Tesla before I could even walk. They were big shot politicians, and while they gave me everything, the one thing they never gave me was their time. They were always traveling, meetings here, conferences there. Sometimes I had to watch the news just to remember what they looked like. People envied my life. I envied, well, people who actually had parents around. But at least I got a fat allowance to drown out the loneliness. I threw the best parties, wore the priciest outfits, and believed I was living the life. Until everything came crashing down. I was 17 when it happened. I was scrolling through the TV when I stumbled on a news headline that made my stomach drop.
Breaking news. The Federal Investigation Unit is probing Mr. and Mrs. Stone for large-scale fraud using shell companies and offshore accounts.
Mr. and Mrs. Stone? That was my mom and dad! I called them immediately to ask about what I heard. I called repeatedly, but no one answered. My heart raced. Something was wrong. Come on, Mom, pick up! Dad? Just when I thought I could faint from fright alone, Mom sent me a message. We're okay. Don't call. We'll explain everything later. No call, no explanation. Not even a how are you. I tried to convince myself they wouldn't abandon me, but that illusion broke the next morning. I woke up to find 2 cops on our doorstep, with a warrant and icy voices.
Are you Ivy Stone?
I nodded, heart racing.
We're here to seize Mr. and Mrs. Stone's property. They're fugitives in a financial crime case.
That was the moment my world collapsed.
Records say you've got an aunt in North Carolina. She has agreed to take you in. You're underage. We can't leave you here alone.
And just like that, I was shipped off to the middle of nowhere to my mother's sister, a woman my mom cut all ties with when I was still a toddler. She worked as a servant in the royal palace now and stayed in the servants' quarters. I was on my way to meet her when the universe gave me a clear sign that coming here was a mistake. You! Are you blind? Do you know how much this costs? He turned around to face me and I almost lost my footing. He was gorgeous. Bright green eyes, dark messy hair, tall but definitely my age range.
Sorry, princess. I don't have eyes at the back of my head.
Just like that, the spell broke. Oh, how dare you insult me after what you did?
Hey, who wears Dior near a pig pen?
You lowly, muddy, pig-stinking, farm-floor wiping pig!
Wow, creative. You should write poetry.
I forced myself to locate Aunt Nancy's house before I buried someone in pig mud. I was still seething. I couldn't even bring myself to cheer up when I finally did. Welcome to North Carolina, Ivy. What's welcoming about this place? Everyone stinks like a farm.
Ivy, with what happened, you should be grateful for this opportunity to change scenery.
But that was easier said than done. First, she served something that looked like suffering. Is this prison food? Oatmeal surprise, with a pinch of sardine oil for flavor. Built strong bones.
I'd rather break a bone.
I rejected the food, determined to order something that didn't look like something I'd rather throw on someone, like that pig guy. But when I tried ordering dinner from a nearby cafe app, I discovered something that made me scream. No funds? Card declined? What? Turns out I'd spent my last allowance on a shopping spree I barely remembered. Great. Now I went broke, parentless and foodless. How was I supposed to survive? For days, I barricaded myself in that tiny room. My so-called friends were too busy mocking me online while my parents were still MIA. It felt like the world had turned its back on me. Aunt Nancy swapped her usual prison food for something brighter. Things I could recognize. Still, I couldn't eat.
Your food's gone cold.
So is my soul.
If it's that bad, why not get a job and buy your fancy meals? It's summer holiday after all.
I wasn't born to work. I was born to be adored. I knew I was giving her a hard time, but I was so angry at how my life flipped. I couldn't see past my own misery. Until one stormy night. Ugh, I hate storms. Unable to sleep, I shuffled to the living room to distract myself, and found Aunt Nancy showing off some improvisation skills. Hey, why are you fixing that by yourself?
The rain is going to soak everywhere if I don't.
Shouldn't you be sleeping in your room?
You're sleeping in it.
That's your bedroom? You left it for me? That's when I realized that this house only had one bedroom. You're sleeping on the floor just so I can be comfortable? Why even bring me here when you and Mom don't even talk?
Your mom is the one who cut me off.
Once she had money and fame, she started treating poor people like me like I was a disease. But you're my niece. I wasn't about to let them throw you into some foster care without a fight. Tears stung my eyes. All this time, I'd acted like a brat, but she was the only one who'd shown up for me. That night, I promised myself I'd carry my weight and stop acting like the world owed me something. So, I applied for a part-time job at the palace, even though Aunt Nancy insisted I shouldn't bother. And the governess gave me a position I never expected.
You've been assigned as a personal assistant to a member of the royal family. Report upstairs after dinner.
Wait, personal assistant? Royal family? Like crown prince kind of royal?
Something like that. Be respectful. Don't make him upset.
Rumor said the prince had been ruling the kingdom since he was just a child, with the governess's help. This could be my big break. Impress him, marry rich, and escape Pigtown for good. So I put on my best smile to meet my so-called salvation. Good evening, my prince. I've brought...
Oh, it's you again.
No way.
Looks like you're in charge of keeping me happy now, Miss Dior.
This must be a joke. Okay, so plot twist, you're the prince. So you shoveled mud just to humiliate me earlier?
Some of us like working hard. You're stuck with me now, princess. I expect my boots cleaned by morning. Royal dirt only, of course.
Never. I quit. I wouldn't give him that chance to humiliate me.
I intend to double your pay in 2 weeks. Unless this cranky attitude's permanent. Then go ahead.
I wanted to scream or throw grapes in his smug face. But double pay? I can have enough for myself and for Aunt Nancy. Fine, Prince.
Casper. Just call me Casper.
Just as I had expected from a muddy pig prince. Casper hired me just to torture me. Wake up at 5 a.m. and scrub Pigman's boots with my bare hands. This work was already a royal pain. Stupid mud-shoveling prince.
You missed a spot.
Say one more word, I swear I'll fling this at your royal head.
Temper. Not very maid-like.
You're enjoying this.
Immensely.
He made it his duty to give me the dirtiest tasks ever. There were flies, there was animal poop. But what shocked me was how easily he did it all. Show off. Then I tripped over a rake.
You okay there, Dior?
Get out of my life! I tried not to care, but curiosity was killing me. Why would a prince do farm work? Was he broke? Cut off? Pretending? Maybe the palace was just holding on to past glory. But then, how did he afford to pay so many servants? When I asked Aunt Nancy, she just didn't care much about all those things. So I was convinced he probably was just some broke fraud in a crown. Especially after he dragged me to the market to buy food for animals. Where are your guards? Aren't you, important?
I am, but you only attract danger when you live loud. No one wants to kidnap a guy who haggles over Cara prices.
So, you don't worry about safety?
Not really. I learned from my parents. They were too royal, too distant. People hated them. They had plenty of foes, and it wasn't long before those foes made their move. So my parents have to live a secluded life. I don't even know where they are now.
Oh.
It's fine. I decided then I'd live differently. No flashy shows of power, just a quiet impact.
His reason for a simple life sounded so noble. But watching him argue over loose change...
So I can't get a 50-cent discount?
Nah, I remain convinced he was definitely a broke prince. 3 weeks into my stay here, I came into his room for my routine cleaning and found him in front of a safe full of cash and gold. What? You're rich!
My parents may not be royalty anymore, but I didn't lose their wealth.
Then why live like this? You've got servants, money. You should be out shopping, partying, wearing designers.
I live to fix my parents' mistake. When I turn 18 and take the crown, the people won't get a king, they'll get a servant.
The life of excess I once had suddenly felt empty.
Just 'cause I have money doesn't mean I should waste it. The farm may be a cover, but when I use earned money to help people, it feels right. It feels like I'm giving, not spending someone else's riches.
Wait, you work, get money, then give it out?
What? It's called giving to charity? Speaking of that, I will be visiting the orphanage tomorrow. Want to come?
That night, my respect for him skyrocketed. He was everything I hadn't been. Grateful, grounded, good. And when I followed him to the orphanage, I realized he wasn't bluffing. He even came with a truckload of gifts. Casper, you came!
Of course I did. I brought someone new, too.
Are you his wife? What? No, I'm just a visitor.
Relax, future queen of awkward.
Casper could tease me all he liked, but that day I began to see who he truly was beyond all that sass. He wasn't performing. He truly cared, and the kids adored him. Thanks to him, I even got some love too. I made this. You're really pretty. Oh, thank you. We spent the whole day laughing, giving, and just being at the orphanage. Something in me changed after that day. I was starting to love the girl I was becoming. The longer I stayed, the more this place felt like home. Then, one night, I got a call from an unknown number. Hello?
Ivy, it's me, Mom!
Mom? Where are you?
Shh, your dad and I, we're in hiding, but we've arranged something. Meet us at the old bus station outside town. Tomorrow evening, we'll plan our escape. We miss you, sweetheart. And Ivy, don't tell anyone.
The next night, I went, still reeling from the call. At that moment, I thought maybe it would all be okay.
There she is!
But they had a lot of explaining to do. Why did you leave me? Did you really commit fraud?
It was all lies. We vanished to keep you safe, but now we have a plan to reunite. We just need your help.
Help?
We knew that you work for the palace. That's our key.
What are you talking about?
Those royals are swimming in wealth. If you can just get something, cash, jewelry, we'll vanish for good, start fresh.
My mind flashed to Casper's safe, but you want me to steal?
It's not stealing, it's survival. They won't notice. You're underage anyway, so even if you're caught,
you left me. Now you want to use me?
We did it to protect you.
No, you did it for yourselves. You never even checked on me.
We couldn't, they were tracking us.
Just then, I got a text from Casper that read, "We're looking for you. You okay?" I stared at the screen. That one text meant more than all the gifts my parents ever gave me. I came here hoping you were innocent, but asking me to steal from my employer, your own sister's workplace, shows me exactly who you are.
Don't be stupid, Ivy. Don't waste this chance. No, I won't be your pawn.
When I returned, I found them waiting, worried.
Ivy, my goodness, where have you been? We've been looking everywhere.
I saw my parents.
You what?
They told me to come with them, that we could run, change our names. They wanted me to steal for them. Casper's eyes went dark, while Aunt Nancy covered her mouth in shock. I almost said yes. For a second, I wanted to. I thought I missed them. But then I remembered everything I've learned here. Everything you've taught me. How you chose a different path despite who your parents were. So I came back. Then Aunt Nancy pulled me into a tight hug.
Welcome back, Ivy. And also, you're fired.
What? I just told you I didn't agree to steal!
Pack your things. You're done working here.
Was he serious right now? I was about to explode. Until I saw Aunt Nancy trying not to laugh. Okay, what's really going on?
You're fired as a maid. Not from my life. You're enrolling in my school. Final year, fully funded. Salary stays. Call it a scholarship from your annoying boss.
Wait, are you serious?
I've cleared it with your aunt and the school. Welcome to Royal High School, Princess Dior.
I was so happy I could cry. You scared me. I was about to fight you.
Fight me? With what? Those baby fists?
Oh, now you're in trouble. I thought money was everything, until someone with nothing gave me everything, and someone with everything lived humbly. They taught me that true strength lies not in what you own, but in what you choose when no one's watching.
Hi, my name is Sally, and I live an ordinary life. I never knew my dad, so it's always been just my mom and me. My mom is an incredible caterer, world class even, if you asked me. But because of the struggling economy, all her hard work just about keeps us afloat. Still, we've managed to enjoy life in our own way. Then one day, I was eating cereal when my mom burst in with life-changing news. Hang on to your boots because I have rocking news. What boots? Oh, don't ruin my joke. Anyway, remember my last interview? I got the job. You are now looking at the new lunch lady of the prestigious Willow High School. For real? That's not even the best part. They offer a staff discount, which means you can now attend Willow High. OMG! Now that's rocking news! Ew! Willow High was the dream of every kid in the city. Rumor had it that the president's kid went there too. I would get to mingle with the creme de la creme of society. Oh, somebody pinch me. My first day was finally here. I kept checking my hair and outfit in the mirror, even though I'd already picked out my best clothes and ironed them twice the night before. Remember, they're just people, and you are the most brilliant kid I know. And how many kids do you know? All right, off you go now, Miss Smarty Pants. Not gonna lie, though I'd heard about Willow High's reputation, I was still shocked when I stepped inside. Everything was so pristine and classy. Let's just say, compared to my old school, the lack of graffiti and litter really caught me off guard. But I immediately got my groove back as soon as class started. The teachers were all impressed by how quickly and accurately I answered their questions. By the time recess rolled around, I was beaming with confidence. So, I thought I'd try to get friendly with my new classmates. Hi, I'm Sally, your new classmate. Yes, one of those charity kids. I can tell just by looking at your clothes. Are these like your hand-me-downs? No. I bought them new at the mall downtown. They threw me one last glance, then just stood up and left. A few students nearby were staring at me now. But worst of all, I felt tears welling up in my eyes. Then a scary realization hit me. If that was how they reacted to my best clothes, imagine what they'd say if they found out my mom was the lunch lady. That thought alone sent shivers down my spine. I ended up eating lunch in class to avoid them altogether. I couldn't bring myself to tell Mom what happened either. She was so excited about the job, I didn't want to ruin her mood. Hey, sweetie. So, how was your first day? I didn't see you at lunchtime. Oh, I sat with some girls from class, so guess it was too crowded for you to spot me. Already made friends, huh? Atta girl, I knew you'd fit right in. It soon became my usual routine to stay in class all day, even during recess and lunch. The rich kids treated me horribly, but at least I still enjoyed the learning part. One time, I was having lunch outside, minding my business, when someone walked up to me. Why do you always eat by yourself? Too poor for lunch or something? No reason. My parents are only making me do this so I learn how to be humble. So you're not dirt poor and a charity kid like everyone says? Of course not. In fact, I'm the opposite. I'm really rich. Oh, what kind of rich? Heiress, royalty, or Wall Street dad? Heiress! Yeah, that's right. I'm the heiress to, one of the biggest dynasties in Europe. But you can't tell anyone. I was supposed to keep it a secret, all right? Oh, I'm the best secret keeper. Your secret is in safe hands. Boy, oh boy, did she lie. Before school was even over, I had already become the hottest topic of conversation. I immediately knew what had happened, so I went looking for the girl. Hey, I told you not to tell. Oh, I didn't really tell. Only to Frankie. But she told Jane, then Jane told Poppy, and she told Beth, and so practically the whole school. Oops, sorry. After a sleepless night spent just being anxious, I decided it was best to come clean before things got even more out of hand. But when I walked into school the next day, everything was different. The kids acknowledged me, said hello, and some even gave me a hug. It felt so good not to be invisible anymore that I thought there was nothing wrong with enjoying it a little longer. Unfortunately, the news had already reached even the mean girls of my class. I heard this is the new hot spot for heiresses. Not really. Don't say anything. Your secret is safe with us. Oh, and what are you doing after school? Someone's dad bought a new yacht and invited us to test it out. You game? What now? I was so stunned. I ended up muttering a yes. Great, but before we go, we have to go to my house to give you a makeover. I get the whole lesson thing, but you can't go on a yacht like this. Just like that, it was too late to tell the truth. They had initiated me into their circle, and I couldn't leave because I didn't want to. I was having the time of my life. That day, Megan took me to her house, which honestly looked more like a palace, and gave me a makeover, completed with a brand new wardrobe for our hangouts, so my fake parents wouldn't find out. And the yacht, oh my god! Everyone was so happy to get to know me. But there was one small problem. I had to keep lying. So, what part of Europe are you originally from? Oh, Belarus? Hey, I've been there before. The waters there are so incredible. And there was this dish we had, what's it called? Toilet! I need to go. BRB. besides some awkward moments, things were mostly going fine until we got an announcement for a school trip to Europe. Ooh, I'm so excited for this trip. We're all coming, right? Yeah, of course. The truth was, Mama told me we couldn't afford to pay the required fees. Now how was I supposed to explain to my rich friends that I was too broke to visit my own home? I thought I'd have to make up another lie. But then, Mom once again came in with rocking news. Hold your applause, because I just saved the day. What are you saying, Mom? You know how I'm going on the trip as a caterer? Well, I just spoke to the principal and asked if I could bring you along as one of the kitchen helpers. And he said yes. So you're going too, sweetheart? Really? Really? I'll do anything for you. Get packed. You are going to Europe. But I am going to need your help. Promise me you will help out. Oh, I promise, Mom! You're the best! Crisis averted. New crisis created. Now how could I play both roles without getting caught? The first challenge? The flight to Europe. Mom and I arrived at the airport together early on the day of the trip. I wore thick sunglasses and a hoodie. Luckily, our seats were so out of sight that no one saw me. As soon as we landed, I stepped away from Mom and secretly joined my friends. Hey, guys! Hey, were you on the plane? I didn't think I saw you at all. Oh, I had special seats. Welcome to Europe, everyone! It took some effort, but I figured out a routine. I spent the day avoiding my mom and only sneaking into our shared room when no one was looking. Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. I needed your help earlier. I know, Mom. I'm so sorry. Someone had an emergency and I had to help. I promise I'll help with breakfast in the morning. Promise? I'll have you wake up very early and go buy groceries to make up for today then. No problem, Mom. I'll be the earliest bird. All right. Here's my card then. The grocery list is on the table. Now go to bed or else you can't get up tomorrow. Just then, my phone started beeping. It was a text from Megan that read, "Emergency. My room. Now." I have to go, Mom. I'll explain when I come back. Wait! I ran to Megan's room as fast as I could, thinking it was actually an emergency. But turns out, we're sneaking out. Shopping time! Wait, what? Everything happened so fast. In just seconds, we'd already arrived at a huge designer shop. Beth and Megan were shopping away while I stood in the corner, completely unfamiliar with all the glamour before my eyes. Aren't you going to get something? I don't really need anything. Nobody needs designer stuff. You just buy them anyway. What about these glasses? Looks cute on you. You should totally buy them. Well, it just so happened that I had Mom's credit card with me now. And surely one pair of sunglasses couldn't cost that much, right? Yeah, apparently the cashier didn't think so.
We're having problems authorizing this charge. Your total bill has exceeded the spending limit on the card.
Fine, just give me the card back. Take your glasses and I'll just leave.
I'm sorry, miss. Standard protocols have been activated, and the cardholder has been contacted.
You did what? Then I heard a voice that made my stomach drop.
Sally, what are you doing here? I thought my card got stolen.
Ew, why is the lunch lady speaking to you? Excuse me, you need to mind your own business.
This is my business. I am her mom. What is going on?
Nope, she is an heiress in Belarus. Sally, tell this lady to leave us be.
Is that so, Sally?
I can explain, Mom. Mom? My mom just grabbed her card and quietly walked away, but I could see tears forming in the corners of her eyes. Exposed for all my lies, I froze on the spot, unable to think of any way to fix it. The rest of the trip was a complete disaster. I started helping out in the kitchen, for real this time, but Mom wouldn't talk to me or even look my way. All day long, I kept hearing stuff like, "Hey, heiress of the kitchen kingdom, can I have more beans?"
Hey, you're royal of rags. Some gravy over here.
I hated it. My life now sucked way more than it had ever been, even when I still went to public school. But the worst part was that my mom was still giving me the cold shoulder. Even after the trip, her anger didn't seem to subside. Mom, please. I'm so sorry. I never meant for all this to happen. It just got out of hand. I just wanted to be like them. Be one of the normal kids.
Normal? So you're so ashamed of who I am that you had to lie to feel normal?
No, Mom, you don't understand.
You're right. I don't. I don't understand how the child I've spent every minute raising could be so willing to deny me just to fit in with a bunch of rich, snotty kids. After everything I've taught you, do you really believe those are the kind of friends you want in your life? The ones who made you lie about who you are and push your own mother aside?
I knew what I did wrong, but Mom didn't understand how much I needed those lies just to survive at school. I wanted to tell her what it felt like to be mocked every day, but hearing the pain in her voice made the guilt sink in. Since the incident, I went back to being a nobody, always sitting alone and eating lunch in class. The kids eventually ran out of jokes and settled for just laughing when I walked by. It wasn't pleasant, but at least it was easier to bear. One day, I was heading back to class from the restroom when I heard a commotion in the cafeteria.
I asked for mashed potatoes. Can't you even get an order right? And I told you this isn't a restaurant. The menu's set for today.
How dare you talk to her like that? Her father's yearly donation pays for your salary. So technically, she's your boss, you know. Seeing the saddened look on Mom's face and her hard work going unnoticed, I was filled with anger.
Excuse me? You're not allowed to talk to my mom like that.
Oh, look. It's the Princess of Bella Nothing.
Oh, ha ha. You're mocking someone who works hard every day to feed the entire school, including you.
How high and mighty of you. The whole school went silent, and all eyes were on us. Beth and Megan's faces turned bright red with embarrassment.
Pfft, so what? You hadn't even dared to admit she's your mom just a few days ago.
Yeah, I lied, and I'll own that. I should have shouted from the rooftops how proud and lucky I am to have a mom like her. She's a hard-working woman, and the most loving, caring mother anyone could ask for. My real mistake was thinking I had to be anything like you. Because clearly, even with all your wealth, you still can't afford basic decency. Then I turned to my mom and saw her eyes well up with tears. Mom, please forgive me. I can't express enough how sorry I am and how proud I am to be your daughter. I'll never let you down like that again.
You really know how to make a scene, sweetheart.
Well, I've got to live up to my so-called royal title somehow, don't I? The cafeteria erupted in applause as Beth and Megan stormed off. My mom pulled me into a warm hug.
So, can you help me with the dishes? Or do you have somewhere to be, Princess of Bella Gate?
Great, now you're making jokes too.
Let's move along, Your Highness. Those dishes won't clean themselves.
It's tempting, I know, the wish to fit in and be like everyone else. But what's more important is being proud of who you are and always remembering to cherish your family. I walked into the living room to find a huge mess while the boys were running around like monkeys. Nobody move. Anyone cracking a sound is getting their eyebrows shaved. As everyone froze, I crawled under the table, thoroughly scanning every corner for my stud earrings. I'd lost a lot in life, but I wasn't about to lose my stud earrings. They were the only thing I had left of my mom. I found them! But just as I was about to stand up, a funky smell hit me. What is that smell? Darcy, if there's a moldy pizza box under this couch again... I reached under. My hand touched something soft, spongy. I pulled it out. A piece of dried fish? Why is there dried fish under the couch? None of the boys admitted anything. But one look at their faces and I'd already figured out the culprit. Darcy sat smugly, stroking his demon cat. I think your cat has some explaining to do.
I can't control where Darcy Jr. dines, Spence.
Clean this up, or you both end up in a litter box. Both Darcy and his cat hissed at me, and I hissed back. 9 a.m., and the house was already so hectic. Hi, I'm Spencer, and I grew up in a group home. After my parents passed away, I bounced around a few foster families before landing here. Those boys you just saw, they're my 6 brothers, whose antics and chaotic energy could power a small country. Our home director is far too old to chase them around and clean up their messes, so I ended up in charge. Let me officially introduce the squad. There's Maxine and Chris, who followed me everywhere. Kevin and Quincy, the human hurricane twins who would literally fight over anything, even one old sock. Ah yes, our little rascal, Darcy, and the devil cat he rescued from a dumpster. I'm convinced it's cursed.
He's not cursed. He's my little cuddle muffin.
Yeah, who glares at me and leaves dried fish all over the house. And finally... Uh-oh, where's Jackson?
And why is there smoke coming out of the kitchen? Oh no! Jackson was busy plating a dish that looked undercooked but smelled burnt. Here, I made breakfast. Just then, the smoke detectors went off and the sprinklers came on, drenching everyone and everything, including Jackson's toast. We looked at the soaked dish and burst out laughing. Jackson scratched his head awkwardly, mumbling a tiny, "Sorry." He was the softie of the house, always helping, always smiling. As the oldest, I ran the house like a camp warden with years of experience. Without me, these boys would have absolutely burned the place down. Twice. I loved it here, but deep down I missed just being a kid. Sometimes I still dreamed of a home with parents, or a long night's sleep without any 7 a.m. shenanigans. Yet, it all felt too far away. Until our town's new mayor decided to visit every home that year's Christmas. I told the boys to try to behave. Well, they tried.
Before we get to the presents, let's light the tree. Can the big sister of the group give me a hand? I heard you run a tight ship here.
Of course, sir. Happy to help. Honored, I stepped forward. But someone stuck their foot out, and I face-planted, taking the whole tree down with me. The twins were wheezing, and I saw Darcy, with a self-complicit smirk on his face, vanishing into the shadows. Suddenly, the snow machine exploded into full blizzard mode. I shut it down instantly, but we were all practically swimming in fake snow at that point. Everyone apologize! Now! The boys quieted down and bowed their heads. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. They're usually not like this. They absolutely were, but he didn't need to know that.
That was the most fun I've had all week. And the way you handle the situation? Impressive.
Thanks. And then, the most bizarre thing happened.
I like this girl. She's a natural leader. I'd love to mentor her, maybe even adopt her, if she's okay with it.
What? Everyone turned to look at me like I just won the lottery. And technically, this had always been the dream. Finally, a shot at a new life. Plus, the mayor wasn't just anyone. He was kind, respected, rich. What about my boys? Who'd stop the twins from turning the living room into a WWE wrestling ring? Who'd keep Darcy from summoning demons with his cat? Who'd remind Jackson the oven has settings? As if reading my mind, Jackson took my hand.
This is your chance, Spence. You deserve it.
I can't just leave. What if you boys need me?
We'll be fine. You deserve to live for yourself too, you know?
With that, the boys all gathered around to hug me. Darcy was glaring at us for a moment, just standing still. But eventually, he gave in and joined the group hug too. Spoiler alert, I sobbed. Like, ugly sobbed. And just like that, with the boys' blessings, my life turned over a new leaf. My new home was straight up a Pinterest board, extra rich style. But like with all fairy tales, this palace came with a real-life princess, Cara, the mayor's perfect daughter. Cara was classy, confident, and on top of that, her grades were perfect. Calculus probably hated to see her coming. Yet, it was clear from the moment I stepped into the house that she didn't like me. Hey, I'm Spencer. Nice to meet you. Save it, charity case. There's no need for me to learn your name. With that, she stormed off to her room. Excuse me? Ouch. That night at dinner, the mayor kept going on and on about how I handled the boys at Christmas.
She made all the boys bow like employees to a boss. How did you do that, Spencer?
Well, just survival skills 101 when living with a bunch of jumpy boys.
That's leadership. Cara, you should take notes. Be more assertive, like her.
Sure. But I need to show you something. I just finished it.
Finish your application essay for Harvard Law School first. There's no time for hobbies right now.
But Dad...
Harvard application first, Cara. Your preparation needs to be flawless. So, Spencer, what are your future plans? Whatever you decide, you have my full support.
So she gets to choose and I don't? Oh no, this was just gonna make her hate me more. It's been a day, and I was already on her blacklist. In the days that followed, I made sure to stay out of Cara's way. But then, one day, I walked past her room and something caught my attention. The door was already open, so... Curious, and admittedly a little nosy, I peeked inside. In the center of the room was a beautifully crafted paper art installation.
There were also sketchbooks on our bed with more artwork. Whoa!
Don't touch those!
Did you draw them?
Not your business. Get out.
Why do you hate me so much? I haven't done anything to you.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Spencer's so perfect. Spencer can do no wrong. Spencer this, Spencer that. Ugh! I don't want anything to do with you. Got it? Now get out!
Before I could respond, she shoved me out of her room and slammed the door in my face. I knew it had been only a few days, but I already missed the group home. So I called Jackson just to hear a familiar voice. He must have sensed my sadness, because the next day, I woke up to a huge surprise. What are you guys doing here? They didn't even answer, just straight up barged in like wild raccoons. Just like that, within 20 minutes, the mayor's fancy house got turned into an elaborated playground. Darcy released a chicken in the living room. The twins were skateboarding down the grand staircase when their skateboard launched into the air like a missile and obliterated a priceless vase, then started fighting each other. It was absolute hell. And Cara was eating it up like popcorn, smirking as she recorded the whole scene with her phone. So much for being misassertive. Wait till Dad sees this. I barely had time to think of how to fix the situation before the mayor walked in. Oh no, I was definitely about to get kicked out. I held my breath, preparing to get scolded like never before. But, to my surprise, I heard laughter.
I see the boys missed you, Spencer.
I'm really sorry.
Don't sweat it, kiddo. Boys will be boys, am I right?
Seriously? They ruined the house, Dad. You need to kick them out. All of them.
That's enough, Cara. If you have time to worry about other people's business like this, spend it on your Harvard application.
I've told you I don't want to go to Harvard. I'm not like you, and you never listen.
Cara stormed out in tears, and honestly, I felt bad for her. She was mean, sure, but the mayor was giving her a tough time. My biggest question was why the mayor kept insisting on pushing Cara to go to Harvard when she clearly didn't want it. After cleaning up their mess, I sent the boys home and went up to Cara's room, hoping to talk things out with her. But she wasn't there. And the beautiful art installation I saw before was dumped in the trash can, along with her other sketches, now torn to shreds. Why would she destroy these? I couldn't understand. Cara must have spent so much time on them. Was this because her dad continuously refused to hear her out? Carefully, I picked all the torn pieces and took them with me. I knew what it felt like to have a dream, and I wasn't about to let Cara give up hers now. Spring was finally in full bloom here, and I asked the mayor if we could visit the group home. My plan to help Cara was nearly done. I just needed some assistance from the boys. Of course, Cara hated the idea, but once again, the mayor shut her down.
No arguments, Cara. I've had enough with your hostile attitude towards Spencer.
Yikes. Sorry, Cara. Let's hope she'd forgive me when she saw how the plan unfolded. As soon as we arrived, the boys swarmed me. For the whole day, we ate, we danced, and played games. Only Cara barely spoke to anyone. She sat by herself and looked like she was having the worst time ever. We tried to include her, but she just scoffed and ignored me. The plan needed to start soon then. Smiling, I whispered something to the boys, and the plan's now in motion. We moved indoors, and the boys wheeled a mysterious board covered with a red veil into the room, then lined up next to me. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to present to you some art pieces. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, and that you'll love them too. As the mayor approached, the boys pulled back the veil to reveal Cara's torn sketches, all glued back together and neatly pinned to the board.
These are incredible, Spencer. I'm a bit confused about the tearing, but nonetheless, superb paintings. Did you draw them?
Actually, Cara drew them.
Cara, is this true?
As we turned our attention to Cara, I saw her cheeks flush and her eyes slowly well up with tears. She looked at me, and for the first time, her gaze softened. Yes, they're all mine.
Wow, Cara, these are great! But why are they torn apart?
Because you wouldn't listen to me. You shut me out every time I tried to show them to you. I thought it was hopeless, that I'd have to give up art altogether.
Oh, Cara, What you have here isn't just talent, it's dedication. I can tell how much care you've put into these paintings. I can't believe I almost made you give up something this special. I'm so sorry.
Cara burst into happy tears. I'd never seen her smile so brightly before. This must have been the first time she felt so seen and heard by her father. As Cara and her father continued to discuss her art, I walked away to give them some space.
The camp warden saves the day. Again.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a pro now.
I'm really sorry about the house. We didn't mean to get you into trouble. I did, and I'll keep doing it if you leave us again.
Aw, do you miss me, Darcy?
Yeah, right, you wish.
Darcy puffed his cheeks, then walked off with the other boys. Just then, Cara came out to the backyard and walked towards me. Look, I'm sorry for going through your stuff. But at least it went well, right?
Never mind that. I just want to say thanks for today. And sorry I've been so rude to you for no reason. That was not cool. Truce?
Truce. You're so talented, Cara. I'm glad you're getting the recognition you deserve.
Okay, enough sappiness. Give me a proper tour of this place and tell me about the boys. Don't they ever get tired from running around all the time?
Oh boy. I shook my head and laughed heartily. As we walked around the house together, I could feel a real bond slowly forming between us. A few weeks later, the mayor made it official. Not only did he adopt me, but he also opened a new recreational area for the home, Spencer Hall. I basically spent my day volunteering there, hanging with the boys, and, yeah, still dealing with their chaos. But most importantly, studying for my social work diploma. As for Cara, she finally convinced her dad to let her apply for a prestigious arts specialized school instead of Harvard. And she also sometimes gave painting lessons at the group home. Now life is just, beautiful. Chaotic, but beautiful. I wouldn't have it any other way. Hey folks, my name is Avery, and what I'm about to tell you is the most bizarre story you've ever heard. So, buckle up. I was born in London to the sappiest parents ever. You know those TV parents who could never stay away from each other, not even for 5 minutes? Yep, that's my parents. And look, they're cute and all, but sometimes I kind of feel like a third wheel at home. That's why I've always wanted a sibling. Mom, Dad, I asked Santa to give me a baby for Christmas. I'm gonna be a big sister now.
Aw, really? How will the baby get here?
A big white stork will fly here and bring us the baby, of course.
Like in the fairy tale book?
Duh! How else? But of course, no big bird carrying babies showed up. After that, I tried nagging my parents so many times to give me a sibling, but all attempts were immediately brushed off like nothing. While I did learn to play by myself, I still couldn't help but wish for another member in our family. One of my favorite things to do was collecting weird-looking rocks. It was as if I were in an Indiana Jones movie. This one afternoon, when I was at the playground, picking rocks by myself, suddenly, ouch! Something stung my neck. It was a spitball. Ew! Who threw this?
I did. What are you going to do about it, weirdo?
This kid was a whole giant compared to me. He was like a grown-up man wearing a kid's face. Might as well walk away now before he does anything else, I thought. But just as I was about to turn away, another boy rushed in and stood between us, shielding me from the big kid.
Apologize to her now! Make me! Hey, remember how it went at the dojo last week? Need me to remind you again? Okay, I'm sorry, all right?
Then the bully took off running. The boy and I couldn't help it. We burst into laughter. Wow! Did you really beat that kid up? He's a whole giant!
Well, it was only for practice at the dojo. I have a black belt and he's just lazy. Anyway, what are you doing?
I am picking rocks. The coolest looking one gets added to my collection.
Rocks? Is this one cool enough?
Yeah, totally. And that was how I met my best friend, Joe. He was 2 years older, so it was just like truly having a big brother. Someone who was always there for me, stood up for me, and protected me. An unbreakable superhero. With his bright personality and black belt in martial arts, Joe was always one of the cool kids. When I became a freshman at high school, Joe was already a senior. Although we hung around different cliques, Joe still looked after me and made sure I was never lonely.
There's a party tonight at the Cove. You coming?
Ugh, loud music, girls all over you saying things like, "Oh, Joe, look at my fluttering eyelashes." Hard pass.
Nobody has ever said that.
They might tonight.
All right, point taken. What's your plan for tonight, then?
Gonna sleep early so I can save energy for the school's Science Week's fair tomorrow. Now that sounds like fun to me. You coming?
Sure, if I don't oversleep tomorrow.
Good luck then. Enjoy your party. Bye. The Science Week event was everything I'd imagined. I could spend an entire day here and I would never get bored. One particular stall was getting crowded.
As part of this year's Science Week, we'll be running a fun DNA test to help students explore just how interconnected humanity is. One quick buckle swab and who knows? You might find out if one of your schoolmates could be your distant relative. Plus, all participants will get bonus credit on their next science test.
Do I get an instant A if it turns out I'm related to the principal then?
Sounds good enough. Let's go. I signed us both up without even a split second of hesitation. I'd always wanted a sibling, but a distant cousin didn't seem too bad either. Obviously, this was mostly for fun. But, just what if? I was still in dreaming mode when I got home. It was as if that childhood wish had come back to me at full force. Mom, Dad, remember when I used to ask you for a baby?
Shh, not now, honey. The show's on.
What about our other family members then? Do I have any cousins? What are they like?
Oh, Avery, you know it's just the three of us on our own.
Right, so I have to explain this to you. As sappy and happy as my family was, my grandparents were never really in the picture. They didn't approve of my parents' marriage. I couldn't find out why because Mom and Dad always avoided the topic. Yet sometimes I still couldn't help but become annoyingly curious about my extended family. My grandparents, my cousins? Who did I inherit my weird taste in hobbies from? Later, I was chatting on a video call with Joe. "So, I saw you flinch today when the nurse swabbed your cheek. Thought you were gonna throw a roundhouse kick."
Yeah, as if. She swabbed me like I owed her money. But enough about me. Did you break the news to your parents about how you might be related to half the school yet?
Mom and Dad are already tired of my questions about long-lost family. They keep trying to change the subject. It's getting frustrating.
Well, at least there's two of them to ask. I don't even know who my dad is.
We fell into silence. Family was also a sensitive topic for Joe. It had always been just him and his mom. She worked as a Broadway stage designer, which meant she was constantly traveling outside of London. Since he was little, she'd sent him to live with her best friend. Any time they had together at all was already rare, so Joe tried not to bring up the questions about his dad. Ever. Do you still think about your dad sometimes?
Honestly, more than I'd like to admit. It's not that I don't appreciate Mom for all the extra effort she's put in just for me. I do, but sometimes I see kids walking and laughing with both their parents, and there's this small ache in my chest. I know it's pointless, but still, there's always the question of, what if?
Well, I think he's a jerk for walking away. Whoever he is, it's his loss for missing out on a son as great as you.
Thanks. Anyway, it's getting late. Good night, Avery.
Yeah, good night. After the call with Joe, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept drifting back and forth. I knew he missed his mom terribly, and even though he acted nonchalant, the absence of both his parents still weighed on him. I always felt that Joe's protectiveness toward me since childhood was his way of compensating for not having a father figure, by being a big brother to me. With all my wishful thinking about miracles and families, things were slowly becoming complicated. We got an email notification from the DNA test one day after school. We immediately opened our laptop, eagerly waiting for the results to pop up, only to be met with a complete shock.
That can't be right.
That's impossible. Are we related? The bombshell had dropped. In front of us on the laptop screen were two link trees. According to the site, Joe was my brother. I felt dizzy. It had to be a mistake.
Hey, kids, didn't know you were back. Why do you both look like you saw a ghost?
Dad, is this possible? I looked at Joe, then at my dad, and on their faces, I saw the similarities I'd never noticed before. Now, suddenly so obvious. When I pointed at the screen, I caught the panic in my dad's eyes. It wasn't an error then.
Joe, as in Josephat? Your mother is Celine? I thought you said her name is Anne. Anne Celine. Only family calls her Celine. I don't understand. Are you my dad? Josephat, I didn't know.
What is happening? I thought I heard voices. What's going on?
Mom, you should probably sit down for this. I was overwhelmed. My eyes were blurred with tears, and as I looked up at Mom, expecting her to be just as shocked as Joe and me, my stomach dropped. Her calm expression said it all. She already knew. They both knew my dad had another child, and they both kept it a secret. I looked over at Joe, and he was sobbing. His whole body was shaking, and I'd never seen him look so vulnerable, so broken.
Was it true then? Did you run off the moment I was born? Joe, I don't know what to say, except to apologize.
I never even knew my dad's face. How could you leave a newborn and the mother of your own child like that? Why?
Joe, I'm sorry, I was too young. I didn't know any better. I freaked out, and I never meant to hurt you or your mom. Please let me make it up to you. Make up how? And my mom? How are you going to make up for her broken heart and all the years we lost? Son, please. You don't get to call me that. And I don't have to accept your apology either. This is too much. I need to get out of here.
I wanted to run after Joe, but my entire body was still numb. A quiet but lingering, painful feeling of betrayal was drowning me. Mom pleaded with me to hear them out. She kept explaining how, shortly after meeting her, Dad realized his cowardice and wanted to make things right with Joe's mom. They both tried to reach out and offer their support, but she declined and insisted on cutting all ties. They kept trying again and again until they were finally forced to stop when she suddenly moved far, far away. The image of the loving dad I'd known my whole life clashed with a picture of a runaway jerk who had abandoned Joe and his mom, leaving me completely speechless.
Avery, sweetie, please say something.
I need to be alone right now. I couldn't look at either of them in the eyes. Not anymore. Poor Joe. He had always been there for me. Always my superhero when I needed one. Now, it was my turn to be there for him. Sharing the same roof with my parents right now felt suffocating. And so, I packed my bags and hoped Joe would still let me in. Hey, thought you might want some company. Got a spare room for your little sis? That night, we called Joe's mom and told her what we'd found out. She confirmed everything, including my parents' constant attempts to reach out. Hearing it from her directly, watching how she'd moved on and could now speak about the past without bitterness, I was in awe of her strength. And I was relieved to see Joe had calmed down too. It might take time, maybe a long while, but for the first time, I was starting to believe that, somehow, things would turn out all right. To cheer up her son, Joe's mom gave us our dad's parents, aka our grandparents' home address, and told us to come visit them. I was a bit nervous on our way there, but they were just the kindest people ever. Their faces lit up when they heard Joe and I were both their grandchildren, and instantly pulled us into a warm hug.
Oh, dear Josephat. We thought we might never get to see you again. Grandpa, Grandma, I'm home. And look at you, Avery. Our granddaughter is such a pretty lady.
My grandma is such a beauty, too. After spending the day with a long-lost family I'd finally found, I could almost feel my heart double in size from all the chats and laughter. As for Joe, I caught a glimpse of his teary eyes before he quickly wiped them away. But this time, I knew that they were happy tears. It must have been a long time since he was surrounded by so many loved ones. I still thought about my parents every now and then. I found myself imagining what life would have looked like if Joe had been a part of our family from the start. I was also surprised to realize that I wasn't as mad at them anymore. Dad running away was a messed up thing to do, but he and Mom owned up to their mistake, and ever since, they've poured everything they had into trying to make things right. Even after I left to stay with Joe, they texted me constantly, refusing to give up on our family. When we returned from the trip to our grandparents, I knew it was time for me to go home. If there's one thing I'd learned from everything that happened, it's that no one should ever turn their back on their family. It's good to see you smiling again, big bro. Take care, okay? I'll text you tonight, and see you at school tomorrow.
Right back at you, little sis. Try not to get into trouble when I'm not around, yeah? See you soon.
As I walked away, I suddenly stopped in my tracks, turning around and... totally get it if you think it's weird to ask. But, do you...
Can you, let your parents know I've thought things over? And that I wouldn't mind sitting down to talk with them.
You sure? I mean, you really don't have to, you know?
Yeah, Mom's not mad anymore, so I already feel a lot lighter. And plus, this is my shot to find out how life's gonna be when that what-if question I'd always asked myself comes true.
Sure, I'll pass on the good news. Growing up and making mistakes go hand in hand. But the important thing is to acknowledge the consequences you left behind and to always strive to be a better version of yourself, one deserving of forgiveness and happiness. At the end of the day, our mistakes make up our identity as a person.
It took a lot of effort, but I finally got into the military school that I've always dreamed of. I'm now one step closer to being an actual soldier. Ah!
Hey, midget, move it. You're blocking my way.
What? How dare he? This rude guy deserved a lesson. Suddenly, a hand grabbed my fist. I looked up. Oh, it was some tough-looking guy with tanned skin and bright eyes. He picked up my backpack and said, "First, you have to know your enemy. He's Eric." Before I could reply to this boy, he walked off. At that moment, the siren sounded, and I quickly got in line.
Choose your groups. You have 1 minute.
Looking around, I saw two guys looking as awkward as I did. So I shuffled over to them, and we became a group. Oh, but wait. Why did that guy who picked up my backpack team up with that obnoxious jerk Eric? It turned out our groups would be our roommates, and we were placed in room P02, which was right opposite Eric's room. My roomies are Tom, who was forced here due to his family's military background, and Henry, a notorious playboy who was sent here by his father to stop his opulent ways and learn how to lead a disciplined life. What about me? Well, I'm a girl. My disguise is awesome, right? You see, I have a twin brother, Jack, so I took his identity, and voila, here I am. Ever since I was a little kid, I've loved martial arts and always dreamed of one day becoming a soldier. I thought life here would be great, but it certainly had its challenges. Every morning, whatever the weather, we have to wake up at 5 a.m. and run around the yard. The showers were ice cold, and worse still, 'cause I'm a girl, I had to sneak into the freezing shower block in the dead of night when no one was around, and physical education here is surely rough. Although I train a lot, I'm still always ranked at the bottom. I also struggle to finish the massive meal portions here. Not only do we have to work out loads, but our chores are also endless. Cooking, gardening, ironing, helping out with constructions. I was a novice at these things, so I was super clumsy and messed them up. Luckily, I always had Tom and Henry on my side. Tom is a nerd, and although he doesn't like studying here, his grades are top of the class, and he gives me the answers to the questions I don't know. As for Henry, he gets top grades in PE class, and even though he teases me a lot, he's the one who protects me from Eric. Speaking of Eric, he's a jerk who teases weaker students in school. But he gets away with it for one simple reason. His dad's in charge. And as for that boy that warned me on my first day, yeah, turns out he's called Ellis. I can't quite work him out, even though he often hangs out with Eric and participates in his meaningless dumb pranks. One time, after Eric knocked a younger kid over, I saw Ellis go back and check he was okay. Friend or foe? Who knows? Today we have Taekwondo class. Perfect. I quickly challenged a smug-looking Eric. Too bad he doesn't know I have a black belt. Ha! And as I predicted, I kicked his butt in just 3 moves. K.O. I walked over to my two fellows with a big triumphant smile on my face when Henry suddenly rushed forward and pushed Eric down. Turns out he was sneaking up on me from behind. Nice try, coward. But sorry, dude. We 3 always have each other's back. We were laughing about Eric's defeat when the lunch bell went. But, oh no, the room was locked from the outside.
Eric has to be behind this.
No worries. The food here sucks anyway, Tom said while pulling a bunch of food out from under his bed.
Again, Tom? You've already been punished twice this week for sneaking food in here.
Suddenly there were noises outside. I went closer to the door to listen when it burst open, and in stepped an officer. I stepped into the corridor to see everybody was gathered around whispering, while Eric was on the ground, looking pale like he'd just seen a ghost. Oh my god. The door of room P01, Eric's room, had weird scratches all over it.
It looks like those scratches spell out a word. Jacob. So there's a monster named Jacob. Well, that's comforting. P02! You all missed lunch, so I want 5 laps around the yard. And also 5 points are deducted for bringing in outside food. Ugh.
Points deducted again? At this rate, we'd never gain access to the entertainment room. Oh, here we keep scores between rooms, just like in Harry Potter with the house's points. It's quite a competition. At the end of the week, the room with the highest score gets access to the entertainment room. You know, watching TV or using social media are considered a huge reward in this strict school, but it's hard to earn points. Meanwhile, you can get them deducted for any reason. For me taking a shower at the wrong time, to Henry skipping theory lessons, and now Tom and his snacks. Ugh!
What does Jacob mean? Anyway, seeing Eric freak out like that was hilarious.
Jacob is a name. Don't you see that, Jack? He's Eric's ex-roommate. I heard that he's missing.
Hey, Tom. Is there anything you don't know?
I see. But why did that missing Jacob scare Eric so much?
We're never going to get into the entertainment room. It's all work, work, work in this place. Who cares about that stupid room? This weekend, there's a prom at the local girls' school. I have a step-by-step plan for us. We'll sneak into the school milk delivery truck to get there. Then I can finally talk to some lovely girls instead of those aunties in the kitchen.
That sounds good. Hey, maybe you'll even find your first love there, right, Jack? Huh, they had no idea. Anyway, the thought of getting out of school for a bit was appealing. That weekend, Henry stole some of the gardener's casual clothes, and then we hid in the milk delivery truck to attend the prom. As soon as we got there, Henry had already got himself all smitten with a cute blonde, while Tom spent all his time debating World War II with a girl majoring in world history. As for me, I really enjoyed all those tasty cupcakes. But why wouldn't the girls quit pestering me? I guess it proves that I look quite manly, right?
We gotta go. The bus to our school is about to come. Change to your uniform. You have 1 minute.
I quickly got changed, then ran after them so fast, I bumped into someone, and we both fell to the ground. I was in such a rush that I could only say sorry, pick up my dog tag, and run out into the road to catch the bus back to school.
Where did you guys just get back from? They just helped clean up the cafeteria, sir. I just got back from there.
Hearing this, the officer stopped questioning us. But, huh? Why did Ellis help us? Isn't he meant to be on Eric's side? While indulging in thoughts about it, I took out the dog tag from my pocket and was about to put it around my neck. But wait, it's not mine.
Look, guys, this dog tag has the name Jacob on it.
I quickly showed them the dog tag and explained the incident to them. I must have picked up that guy's tag by mistake. Could it belong to the missing Jacob? Or was it merely coincidence? I mean, Jacob's a popular name, right? The next day, as we were helping to distribute food in the kitchen, there were noises coming from the dining area. As soon as I went out, I saw Eric sitting on the floor, shivering in fear. Next to him was his bowl of soup splattered everywhere. At first, I thought he was playing some tricks to get us to clean up. But no, looking at the way he ran out of the cafeteria in panic, something must have happened. I bent down to pick up the bowl. Oh my god. And it was a dog tag with Jacob's name on it. But the dog tag I took by mistake yesterday is still in my pocket. What's going on? Eric was so preoccupied with the Jacob stuff, he didn't have time to taunt us, so our room got the highest score for the first time, which means we would finally get to experience the entertainment room. But as soon as we reached the lobby of the utility area, something didn't feel right. A bunch of kids were buzzing in front of the entertainment room where the hazy smoke was coming from. Thinking there was a fire, we rushed to put it out. But no, it was only a smoke bomb. Inside the entertainment room, Eric and his friends were fainting. People splashed water on his face, But as soon as he woke up and saw the words Jacob burned black on the wall, he blacked out again. Huh? Who did this? Was it Jacob? Was he not missing after all? Today we have PE, but I'm on my period, so I made up an excuse to go to the school's infirmary instead. On the way, I happened to see Eric with his group of friends.
I think Jacob's spirit is back to take revenge on me. You know, that time? I locked him in the old warehouse and he just disappeared without a trace since then. Is it possible that he was...
Stop talking nonsense. Maybe someone who knows what happened in the past wants to mess with you.
I even took his clothes away. Oh God, he would surely want to haunt me.
Oh my gosh, it all made sense now. Suddenly a large hand muffled me, then dragged me away.
You better shut your mouth and keep this a secret.
It was Ellis, Eric's sidekick. What a faithful servant.
What if I don't? Especially since I met Jacob. What did you just say? You don't believe it? Here, I bumped into someone, and he dropped this dog tag. As for the one in Eric's soup bowl, I think it's just a fake.
Ellis trembled as he took the tag from my hand and quickly left. Was he going to snitch on Eric or something? That night, while I was having dinner, Eric was back to jerk mode again, and he dumped his leftovers on my tray. The two sides clashed, and we all ended up with an hour's detention. The punishment sucked. They locked each of us in a tiny room containing one chair and left us to think about our wrongdoings for a whole hour. The next morning, the officer knocking on the door woke us up. Eric was missing, and we were the #1 suspects. This was ridiculous. What did his disappearance have to do with us? I told Henry and Tom about the other day when I overheard Eric and his friends. So Eric teased Jacob, so now he'd returned for vengeance? Feeling suspicious, we snuck into the school's abandoned warehouse. Yep, there was Eric all tied up and with a rag in his mouth.
It's Jacob! His spirit has returned! He wants to harm me! Help me!
Huh! Look at that arrogant Eric being all scaredy-cat.
Call me Captain. No. Call me Farther. Then I'll let you go.
Tom and Henry burst out laughing. But Eric just stammered and then everything started to go blurry. Then I must have blacked out. When the three of us groggily came round, we saw that the only thing left there of Eric's was his uniform. As soon as we got back to school, we heard from the others about how Eric had appeared in just his tighty-whitey. Everyone gloated to see the overbearing Eric lose his face. From now on, he wouldn't dare tease anyone again. But this was the exact same way Eric used to pick on Jacob. So, Jacob did this? Was he back? Actually, I already knew who was behind all this.
You dropped this at the warehouse, right?
Ellis looked at me surprised and asked how I knew. We actually snuck into the main office to find information about Jacob before we got to the warehouse. And as soon as I saw his picture, I knew right away there was some sort of close connection between Ellis and Jacob. Call it twin senses. It turns out that Jacob was Ellis's brother. During his time at this school, Eric made his life a misery. But everything was kept a secret because Eric's the principal's son. So, Ellis enrolled at this school to get answers. Ellis took the dog tag back and handed over a picture of me with my twin brother.
And this must be yours. I picked it up on the first day of school when you dropped your backpack. You remember?
Oh my God. Was this for real? I snatched the photo and quickly put it away when I saw an officer approaching.
We should get to know each other better, right? Since we both know each other's secrets.
Whatever. Anyway, I don't hate Ellis, and Eric deserved it, so it didn't matter who did that. I turned my head to look at Ellis. He smiled as if he was challenging me. Uh-oh. I had a feeling my life here was about to take a turbulent turn. Hey guys, Private Davis here. Yep, Taylor Davis, the girl who secretly disguised herself as her twin brother to attend an all-boy military school. In the last part, I had to deal with my fair share of challenges, but having Tom and Henry, my two best pals by my side, made things way easier. But still, there were problems my two comrades couldn't help me with. such as this situation right now involving Ellis, finding out about my real identity.
Not that I'm interested in your mess, but I need to find my brother Jacob. So let's make a deal. I'll keep your secret if you help me find him.
What? How am I meant to find a guy I don't even know? To my surprise, Ellis then truthfully told me his story. Turns out, he came to this school for 2 reasons: to punish those who picked on Jacob and to find clues about his disappearance. Meanwhile, I coincidentally met this Jacob guy outside of school and found his dog tag, so I was the only lead he had for now. But could I really trust this guy? I mean, just look at what he did to Eric.
If you don't want to do it, then I can go to the principal's office.
Okay, so what? I found the dog tag while we snuck out to a local girls' school. That's all I know. If you spill my secret, I won't let you find your brother in peace either.
So you better know a way to take me to that school. I'll pick the time to make a move, and you just try your best not to get caught.
The next morning, I was walking to class as usual when I passed a bunch of guys huddled together, whispering something about me? Huh? Wait, did Ellis reveal my identity to everyone? Such a fraud! I ran to find him, but accidentally crashed into this boy called Finley. I helped him up as the whispers around us got even louder.
Guess you're one of the alleged suspects too.
Finley then told me that yesterday, someone discovered a box that looked just like a pack of candy in the bathroom, but inside were a bunch of tampons. So now the students thought there was either a pervert on campus or that one of us was secretly a girl. And according to them, anyone who never joined the public shower was suspicious. Oh no, what if they found out the tampons were mine?
Guys, hot girl alert!
Everyone immediately forgot about me and flocked to him. The buzz on campus was that an inspection officer was staying here for a few months, and he'd brought his beautiful daughter Ivy along with him. People said she looks like a fairy with this ethereal vibe. Just then the inspector, Ivy, and his group stepped into the hallway. I watched them all drool over her. Poof, please. Anyone would think they'd never seen a girl before. She walked past these silly boys with a smug smile, but as soon as she caught sight of me standing there unfazed, she froze to the spot and stared straight at me. What? Was I supposed to show off my smitten face too? Dad, I need someone to show me around school. Can I take him? What? Why me? I couldn't even say anything as the principal had already agreed. Come on, let's go. Oh, you're so muscular. Ew, gross! Later on, she shooed Henry and Tom out of the entertainment room just because she wanted to spend time alone with me. Another time, when we were about to do our cleaning duty, Ivy popped out of nowhere and asked me to go hang with her. She even stopped 2 guys passing by and did her whole fluttering eyelashes routine to persuade them to do my cleaning duties instead.
Ivy, I appreciate your help, but we all have our chores to do. This isn't fair on the others.
Don't you get it, Jack? I did all this because I want to be close to you. I like you.
I think you'll be better suited to someone else.
Then I ran out of there, leaving everyone behind stunned at my harsh rejection. For the next couple of days, Ivy was furious and looked at me like she wanted to tear me to pieces. And the whispers started circulating again. They said that refusing a girl as beautiful as Ivy meant that I must have not had any interest in girls. Or even worse, I probably was a girl myself, and I was the one who dropped the tampons in the bathroom. Gosh, this was bad. That night, as usual, I just stepped out of the communal bathroom after a late-night shower when someone suddenly dragged me into the equipment room. It was Ellis. What's going on? Just then, footsteps resounded from the hall. I held my breath as I anxiously waited for them to pass by. Phew, that was close. Turns out, that afternoon, Ellis heard the officers discussing security tightening, especially in the student communal bathroom area at night. So he waited for me outside and hid me just in time. He saved me. We tried to sneak through the new building close to our dorm, but unfortunately bumped into Ivy. What are you doing here? Trying to sneak out, huh? Officer!
It's not what you think. Jack came here to confess his feelings to you, right? Jack? Oh, yes. I think I'm fond of you.
Oh, yeah? Then why did you refuse me the other day?
He was just too insecure. I mean, you're quite the catch with your high-up dad while he's just a private. but he can't ignore his feelings for you any longer, so...
Ugh, cringe. But it worked, as Ivy looked so moved and lunged forward to hug me. Then I guess we officially became a couple? And as Ellis planned, the rumors about me being a girl were replaced with jealous gazes. Now Ivy followed me to every class, every break time. I barely had any time alone. This tactical combat course was my only chance to get away from her. We had to go to this warehouse to practice saving a mannequin captive. I was focusing on the mission, but still got caught by an enemy. Wait, it was Ellis? He seemed agitated and told me we needed to leave this Friday afternoon. As we were discussing how to sneak out of school, "Why do you need to meet up?" We almost jumped out of our skin. "Ivy!"
Why are you sneaking up on us? What did you hear?
"Just you asking my boyfriend out?" "Oh, I see what's going on here. You like Jack, don't you?" Weirdly, Ellis seemed flustered. He was sweating and mumbling out nonsense. Was he that scared of Ivy? Suddenly, Ivy grabbed my collar, trying to kiss me? Panicked, I shoved her duck face away. Just in time, the siren went off, signaling the course was over, so I ran out of there. To avoid Ivy, the plan changed to early Friday morning. I had to fake an injury to get out of class. Ellis and I met up at the back door, jumped into the milk delivery truck, and let it take us to the local girls' school. When we arrived, I led him to the school entrance where I'd found Jacob's dog tag. We spoke to some students, but no one knew who Jacob was, and people started to stare at us as if we were creeps. We were about to give up when this woman approached us.
Why are you looking for Jacob?
"You look exactly like him." Turned out she's Mrs. Walker, a teacher here, and she knows Jacob. Her husband found him dazed and injured at the edge of the woods and took him in. His health got better with time, but his happiness didn't. So when prom came, Mrs. Walker told Jacob to go and enjoy the night, hoping he'd feel better. But he returned early and was only invested in this dog tag he'd picked up from someone named Jack Davis, since that was also the name of Jacob's favorite drag queen who performed at big theaters. This incident then gave Jacob a push to take action. He always wanted to live with his true self, but he'd been lost along the way. So he decided to venture to find Jack Davis, the role model that might be the only one who could help him now. He had parted ways with the Walkers to go on this self-discovery journey not long ago. On the way back, Ellis and I stayed quiet. I didn't expect Jacob to know my twin brother. Should I tell Ellis that I might know where Jacob went? But I couldn't just lead him to my home to find his brother, as my parents didn't know I'd disguised as Jack and joined this all-boy military school. If they ever found out about this, I could kiss my soldier dreams goodbye. When the truck stopped, I got off and was about to go back to the dorm when Ellis pulled my hand.
You know that Jack, right? Is he your twin brother? If it's true, then please tell me where he is.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I've got homework to do. Then I left as he called after me. The next day, I tried to avoid Ellis, but he was ahead of me. He was desperate, but I just shook my head.
You selfish fraud!
Right away, Tom ran to stand between me and Ellis, while Henry defended me.
What, you want to become the next Eric? Get lost, you jerk!
Oh no. I tried explaining to them that Ellis didn't mean any harm, but they didn't listen and just pulled me away from him. I felt so bad. For that whole day, I kept thinking about what had happened. Ellis was right. I was selfish. He might never see his brother again because of me. I had to go help him. But when I got to his room, his roommate said he'd already taken his annual leave to go find his brother. Oh no. He must have figured out my home address somehow. I gotta go home, but how to get out of school? It wasn't milk delivery day. As I was thinking, Tom and Henry approached me, asking why I was acting so weird. This was it. I guess I shouldn't lie to them any longer.
Guys, I have something to tell you.
I'm actually a girl. Then I told them why I came here in the first place, how things got entangled with Ellis, and now he went looking for my house as his brother might be there. I waited for them to be mad, but instead, they smiled gently at me. That's a pretty big secret to carry. Girl or boy, this changes nothing. You're still our friend. They were not angry with me. I felt so relieved knowing that I didn't have to hide anything from them anymore. Now I just needed to figure out a way to go home.
We can handle this. Go wait near the back gate.
And I did. Just in time, the fire alarm went off, and all officers guarding the gate ran to that direction. A few seconds later, the back gate suddenly opened and the CCTV went off, and I just slid through easily. Luckily, I arrived home before Ellis did. My heart was pounding when I knocked on the door. Then Mom and Dad opened it. Needless to say, seeing their daughter dressed as a boy soldier was a huge shock. I quickly explained to them how I'd secretly taken Jack's place, and their faces kept turning darker and darker.
How could you lie to us, then illegally enter an all-boys military school? What were you thinking?
Right then, Jack, my twin, rushed down the stairs. He immediately got what was going on and backed me up.
Mom, Dad, this has been Taylor's dream ever since she was little. This is dangerous. If you get caught, you could be sent to a juvenile center. Pack your bags and quit the school right now.
In that heated moment, Ellis barged in.
Jacob? Jacob! Are you here? Where did you hide him?
I tried to calm him, but it was no use. The whole scene was chaotic. Then suddenly he stopped dead, staring at the stairs. Huh? Someone else was here. Someone with silky, long hair, a beautifully made-up face, in a super pretty dress. It was Jacob. He apologized to my parents for his brother's behavior. Then we all sat down as he told us how he realized from a young age that he was interested in feminine things. So he used to sneak into his mom's closet and use her clothes and makeup. One time, his parents caught him and they were so worried about his deviant behavior, they forced him to attend military school, hoping to straighten him up. But of course, he didn't fit in there and was fed up with being teased by Eric. So when he saw a chance to run away, he did so without hesitation, cutting off all ties with the school and his family. Luckily, the walkers found him in the woods and took great care of him. Still, it wasn't enough. He needed to discover his true self, so we came to Jack's.
I beg of you, don't make me go back home again. I can't stand the disappointed look on Mom and Dad's faces. I just want to be myself. I know it must be hard, but you gotta go home and face your parents. Once they know how you truly feel, they'll understand.
Mom, Dad, I'm sorry for being so reckless, but being a soldier is my dream. Please give me a chance.
I can't let you do it. But you can have till the end of the semester to pack your stuff and say your goodbyes. That's it.
Just then, I heard footsteps outside. It was Ivy. What was she doing here? You tricked me. I already knew there was something weird going on with you and Ellis. But you're a girl? Lucky me, I had your whole secret recorded here. Let's see how my dad punishes you, fraud. This is bad. Ellis and I jumped into his car and drove back to the school immediately. But we arrived back to an unexpected situation. The principal, aka Eric's dad, was already packing his things, and a strange lady with a stern look was sitting at his desk. Wait, did this mean we had a new principal? Yep, turns out the inspection officer came to school to investigate our principal on allegations that he'd been condoning his son's mistreatment of other students. And it was none other than Ellis here who had been gathering up evidence to help him. Then what about me? Well, in return for Ellis's assistance, the officer decided to let me stay and study here. In fact, the new principal even had some other plans. Finally, it's the end of the semester. Whew! And you know what? Our school now officially welcomes female students, which means I'm legitimately the first girl in school. I'm so grateful for our new principal. Meanwhile, me, Henry, and Tom are still the best of comrades. Obviously, nothing could ever stand between us. And of course, my parents are okay with me staying since I don't have to hide my real identity anymore. About Jacob, he actually listened to Jack's advice and went home to talk to his parents. They were shocked to see him like that, but as he poured his heart out to them, they decided to slowly accept the real him. As for his brother, Ellis, we went through a lot together, and now we're best friends. There might be some sparks between us, though, but I don't know. Let's just wait 98, 99, one more to go. And 200,000 followers! It looks like I'm making quite an impression on the world. Hey, you're looking at the hottest beauty and lifestyle influencer of Park Springs High School. Beauty and brains? I have both. It's not surprising, is it? Obviously, a girl like me gets loads of attention. Oh, there our nerdy Ben is, my #1 fanboy. He's always following me around school and offering to help me with, well, everything. I can't blame him. I mean, I'm basically his queen. Hey, Ben. I didn't see you at my locker as usual. Are you good?
I'm out of money today, so...
Wait, Ben, don't say it like that. People will think I mugged you or something. I never ask for those groceries or sundries.
Yes, you don't. Sorry.
Okay, so that was weird. Then things got even stranger when I overheard Christine telling her friends that after being exposed, an anonymous IG singer's followers had skyrocketed to a whopping 500,000. But the thing was, she went to school here. She's that nobody in bio class, Stella. Stella hurried past me into class, followed by a flock of people trying to take her pic and asking her to sing. Blah, blah, blah. Some of the boys even offered to take her home after class. Poof! Please! What were they thinking? Ugh! She could play the fragile and confused act on these losers, but she didn't fool me. The dropped book scenario was so overrated. But, why was Ben rushing to pick it up? What a traitor! Ben? Where's my homework? He couldn't even come up with a better excuse than,
I went out last night.
This was baloney. I just heard him offer to help Stella with her homework. And guess what? This girl, still with her Little Miss Shy facade up, told Ben that she could do her own essay. Ugh. Did she think she was Beyoncé or what? Acting all high and thinking she's the beacon of the universe? I was furious. So she wanted a taste of fame, huh? Let's just say, as a senior in this field, having experienced its downside, it was time I taught her some manners. After that, I made sure she became the main topic of every single talk in school. Hey, she needed to learn how this fame game worked. Everyone was giggling, pointing, and whispering behind her back. She had to cover herself with a hoodie that hid half of her face and walk through school in anxiety. Yeah, I know that paranoid feeling all too well when you obsess with why people keep on giving you odd looks. Then one day, I was putting my books back in my locker when I glimpsed someone running past me crying. It was Stella. And she dropped a note that said, "If I were you, I wouldn't have shown up at school ever again. You're a joke." Gosh, do people even say these things? This was way too harsh.
What happened? For God's sake.
He didn't think I was the one who wrote this, did he? From that day on, Ben completely ignored me. And worse, he was glued to Stella, comforting her as people talked behind her back. Ugh. Then one day, I was tying my shoelaces when I heard some cheerleaders trying to open someone's phone. Right at that moment, Stella stepped out of the shower stall. Upset to see others violating her privacy, she tried to fight back. But oh boy, this wallflower couldn't even make them budge. Fine, I'll help her, but only this time. You tattletale! You think you run the place now just because you're popular? Go tell Ben I didn't put that note in your locker. Better yet, call him right now. Oh, come on. Just run to the bleachers and tell that nerd. Go! What are you looking at? I went over to the bleachers to find Ben comforting Stella. What now? Snitching on me again?
Actually, Stella was just telling me that you didn't write that note.
Could you be any more foolish? So, you're just gonna bluntly do whatever I tell you to?
Don't mind her. It's just who she is. A bit rough, but a truly great friend.
I don't make friends. Yeah, I'd learned it the hard way. Back in my early days on Instagram, the only friend I trusted posted a video of me changing in the school's shower stall. I still had my tea inside my shirt, but that taught me a cruel lesson about friendships and fame. When you're famous, people will always want something from you. You can't trust anyone at all. You hear me?
Stella!
Who's that?
Liam, Stella's friend from the music club. They look good together, don't they?
What? Are you jealous of him or something? For that silly chick? Ben didn't say anything, but just blankly stared at them. Huh? He never looked at me like that anymore. Now I was no longer the Instagram queen. That meant I was no longer his queen. It was true, there was no one I could trust. A few days later, there was a big football match. We were going up against our rival school for the final, and Stella was singing the national anthem. Even the mayor and a local TV station showed up for it. Crazy! Ben was part of the AV team, so when some dude told me Ben wanted to talk to me, I went to the AV room to find him. What did he want to talk about? Hopefully not something to do with Stella. Ugh! But as I got there, no one was around. Huh? Right at that moment, the screen showed Stella stepping up to the podium preparing to sing. But instead of the soothing melody, a string of strange, distorted sounds came out of her mic. What was going on?
What are you doing here? Ashley!
He pushed me aside and hurriedly fixed the sound system. And just a minute later, things were back to normal and Stella could restart the song. Ben gave me an accusing look, then dragged me behind the bleachers, where we met up with Stella and Liam. Then Ben told her I'd messed with her mic. Ugh! How could he think I was capable of something like that? Meanwhile, this Liam guy stepped in, saying it could have been a technical error. Yeah, whatever. I went to leave, but Liam caught up with me. Weird. Weren't he and Stella having a thing? He immediately denied it, saying they were just acquaintances from music club.
But I've been wanting to get closer to you for a while. You're the true Instagram queen, not Stella.
Whoa, this guy was a top-class jerk. Just a minute ago, he had his hands wrapped around Stella, and now he was trying to leech onto me. He even started leaning in to kiss me on the cheek. Quickly, I dodged it as I met Stella's gloomy look from behind. Yikes. It was time to get out of here. I didn't sleep so well. Ugh. All this stress was bad for my skin. So I was groggily making my way along the school corridor when Stella stormed up to me. It was you, wasn't it? You were so mean to me, threatening to delete my IG account because you were so jealous Ben had left you for me. Now it's really gone, and it's all your fault. What are you talking about? I had nothing to do with your stupid account. Yeah, I gossiped about you to mess with you a bit, but that was all. And you think I did it too? Excuse me? Did he just ignore me? And there Ben was, my so-called friend who turned his back at me right at the moment I needed him the most. And I never threatened to delete her account. Why did she make it up? Was she that jealous of me and Liam yesterday? What's this? An unexpected message from Liam said,
Hey Ashley, don't worry, sweetie. I've got your back. What do you say we meet at 8 p.m. in the park?
Ugh, this shameless, two-faced jerk. What was he up to this time? So after class, I slid a note into Stella's locker, pretending to be from Liam, saying,
I have a surprise for you. See you at 8 p.m. in the park.
I arrived on time to find Liam already waiting. He kept putting on this simping act like he was madly in love with me or something.
I can help you prove everything, and I only ask for one tiny favor, that you'll be my girlfriend.
You can do that? But how?
Well, you can just simply put the blame on someone else. Let's say, Ben? Oh, honey, you don't have to do anything. Just come to me and let your man handle it.
Ugh, this guy made me want to barf. But I still had to play it cool so I could figure out what this dude had up his sleeves. Sounds interesting, but I want to know more. How are you going to carry out your master plan?
Honey, I've already got all the pieces of evidence in my hands.
You mean?
That's right. I was the one who deleted Stella's IG account, and I know a way to blame it on someone else.
You did what? Ashley, I let my jealousy blind me. So when I saw him flirting with you right in front of me, I just lost it. At least you're not the only fool around here. He played both of us. And for the record, he's so not my type. Your type? Let me guess. Someone like Ben? He's such an idiot. He'd never realize I have feelings for him. But you're more of his type than I am. Besides, the way he just abandoned me when I needed him the most.
Ashley, I didn't mean to hurt you like that.
What? You've been there the entire time?
Yeah, I've heard it all, including the part about how you have feelings for me. Look, it's not what you think. I'm not into Stella that way. The thing is, I saw her singing at a coffee shop and realized right away she's my favorite anonymous singer on Instagram, so I sort of revealed her identity online. One thing led to another. I felt so guilty I just stayed by Stella's side and accidentally pushed you away. And it's not that I don't trust you. After you left, I tried to convince everyone you didn't do it, but they didn't believe me. Then Stella showed me the note in her locker of Liam asking her out, and I recognized your handwriting. I got worried, so...
So, you didn't turn on me?
Yeah, I know you can seem cold sometimes, but deep down you have a good heart.
So, turns out that Stella going viral meant some local lounge singer had lost a lot of gigs, so she hired Liam to delete Stella's account for good. This guy was no joke. The note, the cheerleaders, the mic accident, he was responsible for it all. Luckily for me, I'd managed to put my phone on record mode for the entire conversation I had with him. So the next day, I went ahead and reported him to the principal. Well, no bad deed goes unpunished, so I hope you enjoy your indefinite suspension, Liam. As for me, I no longer go solo anymore, as I have a new friend by my side, who now has quit social media and enjoys her passion for singing. And Ben is still Ben. Such a doofus. But my doofus